Welcome back, mamas. Y'all, today we are going to talk about comparison. And I may sound excited, and I am, because comparison does not have to be the thief of joy. You can use it to your advantage. And I'm going to talk about today how to change your mindset around comparison and how to use it almost as fuel for yourself to really figure out what's important to you and the mindset around all of it. So let's get to it. Do you wish you had control of your days, that you had a rhythm, but instead feel overwhelmed, scattered, and like there's never enough time? You're in the right place. I'm Danielle, a recovering workaholic, wife, and stay-at-home mom of two girls. I've learned how to reclaim my time and find purpose and freedom so I can be present with my kids and feel like myself again. Here, we embrace where we are, but we don't stay there. So if you're ready to trade the chaos for clarity, the guilt for grace, and the endless to-do list for aligned flow, grab the kiddos a snack and toss in that laundry because I know you're multitasking, and let's do this because your time, your purpose, and you matter. Okay, mamas, I am excited for today because I get to explore mindset with you. And this is one of my favorite things to talk about is just how we have control over our minds. We have control over how we react to things and to what we choose to allow inside of our heads, right? And we sometimes can be our own worst enemies. As moms, we can be really hard on ourselves. We can let self-doubt creep in. We can feel this mom guilt for so many things that we should not feel guilty for, right? And I talked on Tuesday about how we really can set ourselves up for success this summer. I talked last week also about setting an intention and about creating a boundary for yourself. And if you did not listen, you should go back and listen to all three of those episodes, really, because they kind of build upon one another. But my recommendation on Tuesday about the bucket list, I would love for you to create that for yourself. And this that we're going to talk about today just kind of expands upon that and really goes deeper into the mindset that we can sometimes have or get caught up in, right? As it relates to our summers, as it relates to our lives as moms, as it relates to how we're feeling on a daily basis. And comparison can creep in when we are looking at what other people are doing instead of focusing on what we should be doing, what is important to us at this particular moment in our lives. So I'm going to start with a quote. Karl Lagerfeld says, "Personality begins where comparison ends." Personality begins where comparison ends. Okay, let's think about that because that gets a little deep. Because when we are comparing ourselves to other people, then we truly are kind of judging ourselves. We are not being able to be ourselves. We are thinking about what would someone else do, or maybe I should do that thing that I see them doing. But is that something that is really important to you? We can sometimes get caught up in the shoulds, the I see them doing this, what if we don't do this? Like all of these things, and we lose sight of what is actually important to us, what is actually going to create joy for us, for our family, for our kids. These things are different. All kids are different, right? And so not every activity, not every vacation, not every thing that we see other people doing, other moms doing, other families doing is going to create that same joy or be able to be something that we are able to do right now. And when we are limiting ourselves or when we are trapping ourselves into thinking that we have to do all of these things that we see all of these other people doing or that we should be doing or the typical things that you would do when you think of summer, you don't need to get caught up in that, right? Like if your family is not one that would enjoy the amusement park, do not go to the amusement park, right? Like this applies to so many things, but even something something as simple as like, oh, I saw that mom doing that thing. And therefore, I feel like we should be doing that thing as well. And who knows, your kids might have a great time, at one of those places. But if you know your child and you know what your needs are right now, and you know where you are as a family right now, maybe that's not something that you want to do in this season because maybe you have, like an amusement park. Like that would be a lot if you have a child that is a baby, let's say, and you have toddlers and you have some that are a little older because you're all over the place, right? Unless you have help for the day, I would think that an amusement park with kids that are very small, medium small, and, like grade school small, we are going to be in all over the place. And it is not going to be a fun experience, right? Like, no matter how many pictures we see of other families having these great times at amusement parks, it might not be something you want to partake in as a mom solo for the day, or even just a mom and dad. Like, a lot of times you guys can split up, but again, you have to think about that because you guys are going to be split up. And is that what you want? Like, do you want to be in kiddie land all day while dad is having fun with the older kids on roller coasters? Maybe that sounds great to you, but maybe it doesn't, right? And so let's not put ourselves in position where we are judging what we are doing right now versus what someone else is doing. And when going back to this quote, personality begins where comparison ends, but our personality gets to shine. We get to be creative. We get to come up with things and ways. And if you, like I said, go back and listen to Tuesday's episode and take the time to do that exercise with your kids and create some memories that are going to be lasting for you, that are going to be impactful for you, that are going to be fun for you and your family in this season. Okay. And it changes all the time. I want to read one more quote here. This is from Betty Jamie Chung, and it says, comparison with myself brings improvement. Comparison with others brings discontent. Comparison with myself brings improvement, but with others, it brings discontent. So you can say, like, if this summer it's already gotten off on the wrong foot, then you have the ability to compare yourself yesterday to who you are today, right? Like, we're going to make today better, or we're going to make an improvement in some way, shape, or form. Listen to my episode on intention last week. Both episodes are great for that. Like, if you need to check in with yourself and try to say, okay, I'm comparing myself to who I was maybe last summer, who I was yesterday, or last week. Like, you can compare yourself to that and try to be a better version of that. Try to create a more positive experience and day for your family. That is great. But when you start comparing yourself to others, that is only going to bring you discontent, right? That is only going to bring you discontent. This is not something we should strive for, is not to be like others, is to be more true to ourselves, more true to who we are, more true to what is important to our family and our values and those things, right? That is what we want to focus on instead of trying to look left or look right at what everyone else is doing and what anyone else is doing this summer, right? Like, that is not something that we want to do. We don't want to compare ourselves to others in that way because, every season is different. And, I remember this like little drawing, and I talked about it before, but there was a pencil and there was a crayon, and the crayon was looking at the pencil saying, I'm not sharp enough. And the pencil was looking at the crayon thinking, I'm not colorful enough. Right? Sometimes we want a pencil, right? Sometimes we want a crayon. Sometimes we want a marker. Sometimes we want a pen. We are going to be needing different things in different seasons of our lives. It doesn't mean that the pencil isn't good enough because we chose the crayon, or that the crayon isn't good enough because we chose the pencil, right? It just means that this is what we choose in this season. And we don't want the crayon to become a pencil. pencil, right? Like we want the crayon to be a crayon because we're going to need that crayon at a different moment. I hope that makes sense. Like that comparison is just not good for anyone. When we try to be something that we're not, we are going to feel that discontent. We are going to feel this uneasy feeling if we are looking and judging ourselves by others and what others are doing, what we see others doing, or everything like that. We start to get in this place of discontentment, and it is not a healthy place to be. And so I really want you to ground yourself every morning. Like I said, go back and listen to the other episodes because they really will set you up for success. The last three episodes, it's like 127, 128, 129. I think those are the three. I'll list them in the comments below so that you can go back and see those episodes because those really will set you up for success this summer. And they'll help you take the pressure off of yourself this summer. That is what I want for you to be able to enjoy exactly where you are, exactly at this moment. And if you are feeling like this need to do something more for yourself or to be something more, if you are feeling a little bit of an itch, that you are, this stay-at-home mom and you feel like all of your energy and everything is into the kids, right? And you are wanting to create something for yourself, that is something that you can do. And one of the things that will allow you to do that is to really check into what's important to you, is to check into who you are in this season and what you can take on right now. Right? And this summer might not be the exact time that you can start something new for yourself, but I bet you if you do some of these things that I've been teaching, you will be able to feel content in exactly where you are right now. And you will be able to start to figure out what it is that you do want to do. One thing I want to read is from a quote from Bob Goff that says, "We won't be distracted by comparison if we are captivated by purpose." We won't be distracted by comparison if we are captivated with purpose. Because when we know what's important to us and when we know where we're going and when we know that we are on a path there, right? I always talk about finding your true north and discovering, who you are and what's important to you in this season. And when you know those things, it is so much easier to not compare yourself to others because you know who you are and you know where you're going and you know how you're going to get there. And it is so freeing. And then you can just enjoy the moment and not have to feel like, oh gosh, look at what they're doing. Maybe I should be doing this, or maybe I should be doing that, or oh gosh, are my kids, going to feel left out or are they not going to have as good of a summer as someone else because we didn't do this, that, or the other thing? The answer is no. Your kids want you present, right? They want you. They don't necessarily great. They would love an amusement park or the zoo or whatever you took them to, right? They would love that, but they also could love just the free things that you do at your house, the fun things that, I talked about the bucket list. I gave you so many ideas for that on Tuesday. So go listen to that because they are going to enjoy that possibly even more than they enjoyed the park or whatever, especially like I said, because of whatever season that you are in. So don't judge it. Don't judge where you are or make assumptions about what your kids are missing out on or what they might not be getting to do, because they are going to get to do a lot of things that you can create. And I know you will create these memories with them and for them. And you can do it. I have so much faith in you. And, this is something that we do for your life, talking about finding that purpose and those core values and what is important to you. It's exactly what we're doing for your life in Prioritize Your Purpose, my coaching program. I want to help walk you through this hand in hand because sometimes we get caught up in that we want something more, but we don't know what that is and we can't figure it out. And I really want to help you get to the core of what it is that's going to fuel you, that's going to bring you that passion and that light that you are yearning for, because when you have that, then your whole entire life, your whole entire family, the way that you experience your days will be so different. And when we set these intentions, when we create these moments, these are the things that are going to bring you and your family joy, right? These are the things that are going to fuel you, to drive you. And there is a season for everything, and you will get to that season. If you are actually yearning for, and you know that your family would love some of these things that you are seeing other people doing and other families doing, then we need to figure out a way to make that happen for you. And it just might not be in this season, or maybe it is. If you can figure out a way, and I'm going to talk more about that next week, about support. Both episodes next week are going to reinforce this taking the pressure off of yourself this summer, and a way for you to be able, we're going to talk about like techniques for you to be able to refocus, as well as asking for support and what that might look like for you this summer. So that's a little teaser for next week. But I want to end with this one quote from Dennis Waitley that says, "Happiness cannot be traveled to, owned, earned, worn, or consumed. Happiness is the spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace, and gratitude." And so with that, I just want to leave you with, you can create that. You can create that happiness. I know that you might not feel it in every moment, but you can, with grace, accept how you are feeling in the moment, and then choose to go about things differently. And some of the tools that I'm going to teach you next week will really help with that. And I am so excited that you are going to have the best summer ever if you go back and listen to my episodes and really know that you can choose this happiness. That happiness does not mean perfection, right? That we do not have to be perfect, that our kids do not need perfect. They just need you. They need you. They need your presence. And when you are doing these things that I've been talking about, and you are remembering the reason that you wanted to be a stay-at-home mom in the first place, because you are able to love on these kiddos and you are able to be with them in the most important times of raising them, right? And that is the most important thing. And all of the other things will come. They will come into place when you are prioritizing with purpose, right? When you are doing this, it is all going to fall into place. And I want that for you. If you are interested in the coaching, go to prioritizewithpurpose.com. Prioritizewithpurpose.com/coaching will take you right there. Sign up for a session and go use some of these tools. Enjoy your summer, and I will see you right back here next week. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, Mama. If so, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts, and then hit share and send this to a mom who needs this in her day. I'll meet you right back here next week. Keep smiling, y'all.